All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome in. My name is Alexis Miller, and I'm going to be your yoga instructor today. So, welcome to this Yoga for Pregnancy series. We're now on week 8. So, you're starting to get into the pregnancy. You're starting to probably feel all the feels that come with first trimester. So, as we go through the practice today, make sure to mind your boundaries. Notice where are you ready to extend into your postures? Where do you need to modify, come down to the mat, or kind of hang out in that center posture? Also, make sure that you contacted your healthcare practitioner to ensure that yoga is part of your care plan for your pregnancy. For any of the supporters, whether that be a partner, family member, or even a kid, welcome. So nice to have you at this practice and supporting the mom to be. So, as we go through the practice today, we're really just going to work on kind of getting in the body, getting that spine nice and open, opening up our hips and our legs, and just helping you feel good and hopefully ready for a lovely rest of your day and week. So, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and find a comfortable spot. Your legs can be crossed, they can be straight out in front of you. You can be down on your mat or on a prop. I'm sitting on a yoga block on the lowest side. It makes for a nice little seat. It makes it nice and easy for me to keep my torso long. We're going to wiggle back and forth to root into the sits bones, and then we'll sit up nice and tall. Let's inhale as we draw the shoulders forward and up. Exhale as you drop them back and down. One more time. Inhale, the shoulders come forward and up. Exhale, they drop back and down. Bring your hands into a comfortable position, whether on your knees, palms up or down, or in your lap. You're also welcome to bring a hand to your belly, a hand to your chest for this first part of our practice, where we're going to do a breathing practice to connect with baby or babies if you're carrying multiples. You're welcome to close the eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or simply find an unmoving point and soften your gaze. So, taking a nice full breath in. And as you do, inhale your love for baby. Exhale baby's love for you. Inhale strength for baby. Exhale baby's strength for you. Inhale determination for baby. Exhale baby's determination for you. Inhale resilience for baby. Exhale baby's resilience for you. Inhale equanimity for baby. Exhale baby's equanimity for you. Inhale intuition for baby. Exhale baby's intuition for you. Inhale love for baby. Exhale baby's love for you. Taking these next few moments to inhale whatever it is you would like to offer to your baby, and then exhaling out that same offering from your baby to you. Taking a few breaths like this and welcoming in whatever it is you like. Releasing the hands if you'd like, and just taking a couple more moments now to connect with your breath. No need to change it in any way. Allow it to simply settle into its own rhythm. Notice that natural cadence that the breath takes on here. Finally, setting an intention for your practice today, which really can be anything at all, but it often answers the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale through the nose as you feel that intention with your heart and mind. And then exhale that breath out. Set the intention off to the side, knowing we'll return to it toward the end of our practice. Gently opening your eyes if they're closed. We're going to come right onto our hands and knees today. So, moving any props that you're using out of the way. Bringing your hands beneath the shoulders, knees beneath the hips, tops of the feet down to the floor. So, starting with some tabletop side bends, looking over your left shoulder, and then crunching your left shoulder and your left hip toward one another. Shrug your right shoulder up toward your right earlobe so you feel that nice stretch through the right side of your body, through the ribs into the top of that right hip. Good. Inhale, let's come to center. Exhale, look over the right shoulder and crunch the right shoulder and the right hip together. Shrug that left shoulder up toward the ear, feeling that nice deep stretch through the side body on the left side. Good. Inhale, let's come back into center. Exhale, over to the left again, shrugging that right shoulder up, crunching on the left. Ooh, leaning into that right side, feeling that nice opening. Inhale returns us to center. Exhale, we crunch over to the right, shrugging up that left shoulder. Oh my gosh, such a nice opening here on that left side. Good. And then inhale, returning to center. Bring your left hand to the center of the mat, kind of right beneath your face here. And then exhale, rotate open with your right arm, reaching toward the sky, tabletop twist. Palm is open to the right. Check in with the hips. Make sure they aren't jutting out to the right, but instead staying in line with the knees. Focus on rotating open through the spine. Bottom elbow slightly bent. It's so easy to try to lock out that joint. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, let's thread the needle. Lower that right shoulder to the floor, side of the head comes down to the mat here. So you're welcome to stay right here. You have a couple options. We're getting a nice pull through the outside of that shoulder, nice twist through the spine. If you'd like, you can extend that left arm to the top of the mat, fingertips on the mat. It can also be on a block like this if you'd like options. You can take that left hand, bring it up and around, and tuck it to the inside of your right thigh for a nice little bind. It's going to open up this top shoulder, deepen that twist through the spine. Good. Notice where you're at today. Couple deep breaths. Release that left arm if it's in a bind. Plant that right hand or left hand on the mat. And then inhale, go ahead, sweep that right arm tall, reach up toward the sky. Exhale that arm back and down. Inhale, bring it forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. And then exhale, bring that right hand down to the center of the mat beneath the face. Good. Opposite side. On the next exhale, sweep wide and tall with that left arm coming into your tabletop twist. Palm is open to the left. Again, check in with the hips. Make sure they're not jutting out to the left, but instead are in line with the knees. Focus on rotating open through the spine. Good. Bottom elbow slightly bent. So easy to lock out that joint. We take a full breath here. And then exhale, thread the needle. So lower that left shoulder down to the floor. Side of the head comes down to the mat. So again, you can stay right here. We're feeling that nice pull to the outside of the left shoulder, feeling that nice rotation through the spine. You can extend your right arm to the top of the mat, fingertips on the mat, or on a block if you have one. You can also sweep that right arm up and around, tucking those fingers to the inside of the left thigh so you get that nice little bind. It's a good opening for that top shoulder, but of course, it's an option. It's not a requirement. Noticing what feels right for your body here. So, a couple deep breaths here. Good. Inhale, release that right arm if it was bound. Plant that hand on the mat, press into it. Inhale, sweep your left arm tall, reach toward the sky. Exhale, bring it back and down. Inhale it forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, forward and up. And then exhale, bring that hand back down into neutral. Great work. All right, we're going to go ahead and come into our cat cows now. So completing all six movements of the spine, side to side, twists, and now that flexion and deflection here. So on the next inhale, let's go ahead, sink the belly, lift the head and the hips coming into cow. Exhale, press the mat away, feel the shoulder blades separate coming into cat. Inhale, coming into cow, sink the belly, look up toward the sky. Exhale into cat, press the mat away, feel the shoulder blades separate. Good. Inhale into a nice deep cow. Good. Exhale into a nice high cat. Good. And then inhale, let's come into neutral. Great work. All right, so we're going to come into our pointing dog. So if you need to take a moment to sit back here, shake out those wrists, maybe rotate them around a couple circles in one direction and then the other. Do whatever you feel will be on one hand and then the other, and we'll make sure to shake it out in between. Okay? So coming back onto the hands and knees when you're ready. On the next inhale, lift that right leg, extend it straight out behind you, ball of the foot on the floor. Now, engage the core here, flatten that back, tuck those hips slightly so you have a nice flat back, not a U back like a cow, okay? And then on the next inhale, we're gonna lift that right leg, point those toes. Good. Coming into our pointed dog. Now you can stay right here. Try to avoid letting that hip float up and keep it square with the mat. Yeah, you immediately feel that core go to work. Now you can stay here or inhale, lift that left arm, reach it straight out in front of you. Now, a couple options. You can stay right here, or if you'd like, you can do some crunches with me. So take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee, knee to elbow, crunching into the center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Last one. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Take a breath here. Core is engaged, reaching through the toes, reaching through the fingers. Inhale. Exhale, hand and knee back down to the mat. Great work. Shake out that right hand as you need. I'm going to turn at an angle so you can see me, but then we're going to extend that right leg straight out to the side here. So it's perpendicular to your body. And then exhale, sink your hips back toward your left heel, elongate the arms. We're coming down into our modified child's pose here. So our left side is just like a child's pose, but our right leg is extended out. So we're getting a gorgeous stretch to the inside of that right leg. Now, if you need, you can be on your forearms, adjust your leg to accommodate your belly as you need. Forehead can be down on the mat, but it doesn't have to. If your head does not lift, just have your gaze looking down toward the floor so you have a nice long neck. We're trying to get those toes down toward the floor so we have that nice deep stretch running all the way down to the ankle. And then wherever you are, let's take a couple deep breaths here together. Good. Inhale, go ahead, come back up onto your hands and knees. Bring that right knee back behind your hips here. And now we're going to go on to the opposite side. So this time, go ahead and lift that left foot, extend it straight out behind you. Now, when you're ready, inhale, lift that left leg, point the toes, coming into your pointed dog, opposite side. Again, notice the tendency of the hip to lift and see if you can lower that hip down. Keep it nice and parallel with the mat, and you already feel the core go to work. Engage the core, tuck those hips slightly so we have a nice, strong, flat back. Now you can stay here, or if you'd like, sweep that right arm straight out in front of you, coming into pointed dog. Now you can either hold here or do some crunches. So take a nice deep inhale, exhale, elbow to knee, knee to elbow, and you crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Last one. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Hold here. Core is engaged. Reach through those fingers, reach through those toes. Nice full inhale. Exhale, hand and knee drop back down to the mat. Great. Shake out that left wrist as you need. Good. And then when you're ready, extend your left foot straight out to the side. So I'll stay on this side so you can see it from a different angle. My leg is parallel or perpendicular to my body. And then exhale, sink the hips back toward the right heel, coming into your modified child's pose, opposite side. So again, as you can see, I'm lowering down normally on the right side, but my left leg is extended. I'm feeling that gorgeous stretch to the inside of that left leg here. Arms are extended, forehead reaches down toward the floor, does not need to touch. You can also be up on your forearms, shoulders shrug down, chin slightly tucked so you have a nice long spine. Totally up to you. Let's take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And then inhale, go ahead, come up onto your hands and knees, drop that knee down to the mat, and then just wiggle your hips back and forth for a little release here, side to side. Yep, nothing fancy, nothing I think technical about this, but it kind of feels good, just a little release of those muscles here. Good. All right. When you're ready, we're going to come back into a seated position. If you have a block or like a firm pillow that you can sit on, I recommend it. We're going to be stretching out our arms here, and sitting on something makes it a little bit easier to keep the spine straight. It puts less strain on the low back. So with ourselves in this seat here, we're going to go ahead and inhale, bring our arms down to our sides, and then exhale, sweep that right arm across the body. Bring this left arm beneath the right and bring those forearms to touch, and then use that left arm to pull the right arm across the body. Now, notice the tendency to rotate with the arm. We're not rotating. We're staying nice and neutral with our torso, and our arms are simply the ones that are moving. This is very basic stretching for the shoulder, but it is great here. Now, if you'd like, you can stay right here with the arms crossed, or you can take this left hand and kind of hold on to the arm here. It's an option, it's not a requirement. So similar to what we just did with the tabletop twist, but this is a little bit more intense. It's a little bit more focused just on the shoulder. And I don't know about you, but I can actually feel it all the way down into my fingertips. Shoulders are shrugged down, sitting nice and tall. Good. Now, when you're ready, we're going to go ahead, bring those arms out wide, and then inhale, bring that right arm up overhead, bend the elbow, bring the hand to the bottom of the neck, top of the back, and then bring that left arm up to grab that right elbow and gently draw that elbow toward the midline here. Good. So we're sitting up nice and tall, not trying to arch our back too much, but lifting through the torso, pressing into our sits bones. We're feeling that nice stretch now through the tricep, bicep region into the shoulder blade. Oh, and we're breathing. This feels so nice. Good. And then inhale, go ahead, reach those arms up tall. We're going to interlace our fingers behind us. So interlace your fingers like prayer position, but behind you. And then we're going to go ahead and bring our fingers so they're nestled right on top of our hip here on this left side. We're then going to make sure that that left elbow is sticking out like a chicken wing. We're going to turn our nose over to the right or to the left at about a diagonal. And then on our exhale, we'll drop our nose down toward our armpit as if we're trying to smell our deodorant here. Woo! Now we're feeling a really nice stretch in through the neck here, into the top of that shoulder, that bicep tendon region at the front of the shoulder. Good. Continue to press your hips gently down into your block or the mat beneath you. That helps prevent you from arching out the back too much. Good. Deep inhale. Good. Exhale, release. Nice job. Inhale, draw those shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Reverse the direction. Inhale the shoulders back and up. Exhale forward and down. And then last one, we're going to go ahead and extend our fingers, our right fingers out to the side. Maybe they just hover, maybe they reach the mat. Everyone's anatomy is different. Left hand comes all the way up to the right side of the head. So it curls around. And then exhale, drop your left ear to your left shoulder. So at first, the head is the only thing doing anything. We're hinging at the neck. And then the head or the hand just gently rests down on the head here, adding a little bit of weight. We're not pulling because this is already a deep enough stretch as it is, but we're simply adding just a little bit of weight here to help deepen that stretch. Couple deep breaths. Good. Inhale. Let's go ahead and return to neutral. Great job. So let's come onto that opposite side. Arms come out to our sides. Left arm comes across the body, and then sweep that right arm below, bringing your forearms to touch, and then use the right arm to pull that left arm across the body. Again, we're not turning with it, but instead, torso stays neutral. Arms are the ones that are doing the movements here. We're feeling that nice pull all the way, at least for me on this side, I'm feeling it all the way into my shoulder blade on the left side and then down into the fingertips to the whole outside of the arm. Now, finger or arms can stay just crossed right here, or you can curve that right arm around and gently grasp onto your arm. Option, not requirement. Notice what feels good for you. Couple deep breaths. Good. And then inhale, let's go ahead, bring our arms out to a T. Exhale, bring that left arm up, bend at the elbow, hand comes to the bottom of the neck, top of the back. Bring that right arm up to gently grasp that right elbow or left elbow, and then gently pull it toward the midline. So again, we're not arching out our back too much, but staying lifted through the torso, pressing into the sits bones here, shoulder shrug down. Now we're feeling that nice stretch through the bicep, tricep, down into the shoulder. Woo, feels so good. Again, this is very seventh grade track, like the postures you do to warm up before track, but they're effective, right? They work. And as long as you do them, that's what matters. Couple breaths. Good. Inhale, go ahead and release those arms. Nice job. Go ahead and inhale those shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down, opposite direction. Inhale back and up. Exhale forward and down. And then again, we're going to bring our hands to interlace. So like this, but behind you. And then this time, we're going to bring those knuckles right on top of that right hip, kind of just sitting right there. Right elbow comes out to the side like a chicken wing. We'll turn our gaze over to the right at a diagonal and then exhale, drop that nose down toward the armpit as if you're trying to get a whiff of your deodorant here. Now we're getting a nice opening through the left side neck. into the top of that shoulder there, into the front of the bicep tendon. Continue to press those hip bones gently down into your block so you have a nice posture, not arching out the back too much here. Great. And then inhale, gently release. Last one here. So again, left fingers reach out toward the side. Maybe they touch. Maybe they're just hovering over the mat. And then go ahead and bring that right ear down to the right shoulder. So you can stay here. You can also rest that right hand on the side of the head. It's just a little bit of weight. We are not pulling. We're not actively trying to deepen that stretch, but allowing that weight to just gently open up the neck here. Again, feeling this down to the shoulder, the bicep tendon. I feel this all the way into my fingertips. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders shrugged down, core gently engaged. Couple deep breaths here. Good. And then inhale, gently release. Great work. All right. We're going to come down onto our back. So if you need a towel off, grab a drink of water, put on socks or a jacket for final relaxation. Now is your moment to do so. We will not sit up for the rest of practice. Okay. So coming down onto your back, when you feel ready, let's tuck those knees into the chest for a moment. Wrap our hands or our arms around the legs. Maybe give yourself a gentle squeeze, maybe a little rock from side to side. Being mindful if you're in the version of your pregnancy journey where you can still be on your back. If not, feel free to lay on your side here. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and drop those soles of the feet down to the floor as we prepare for final relaxation. So you have some options. You can stay right here. Knees are in little mountains. Soles of the feet are on the floor. You can allow the knees to fall open wide. Soles of the feet come together for a reclined down angle. Great hip opener here if you'd like. You can extend one leg or the other for fallen tree. You can extend both legs for traditional final relaxation. And just finding a position that feels comfortable for your arms, whatever that looks like. There's no right or wrong here. You're also welcome to lay on your side if that feels comfortable for you, hand or a block beneath your head. Or if you prefer, you can just return to a seated position and treat this final part of our practice like a seated meditation. It's totally up to you. This is your part of practice, so I invite you to make it so. And as you settle into your chosen position, I invite you to tune into the breath. Begin to notice how fast or slow it's moving, how deep or shallow it is. Notice the quality of each breath on your inhales, the quality of each breath on your exhales. Feel into the gentle rise and fall of your belly, the gentle rise and fall of your breath. And if you notice your mind wanders off on a thinking adventure, it's okay. That happens to all of us. Celebrate the moment you've noticed you've gone away, and then turn the attention back to the breath, back to your inhales and your exhales. If it's helpful, you can incorporate a mantra to help you stay grounded and focused on the present moment here. Inhale, I am. Exhale, present. Inhale, I am. Exhale, present. Remaining here with your breath in whatever way best supports you for just a few more moments today. I'm going to get quiet for this final part of practice so you can have it to yourself. Please know that I'm watching the time and I respect yours. and I will let you out of this posture before the end of practice. So lean back, let go, and just rest here with your baby. Each of us has a hermitage to go to inside, a place to take refuge in and breathe. This doesn't mean we're cutting ourselves off from the world. It means we're getting more in touch with ourselves. And breathing is a good way of doing this. Bringing your awareness back to this space, taking a deep inhale through the nose, filling the belly, lungs, and chest with air, before slowly exhaling your breath back out. Take another deep inhale as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Move your arms and legs, gently waking your body up. When it feels right for you, rolling onto one side, pausing there with an arm or a hand beneath your head. It's here that I invite you to bring back to mind your intention or your purpose that you set at the beginning of your practice that answered the question, why did I get on my mat? Take a nice deep inhale here as you feel that intention with your heart and your mind, and then make your way on up into a seated position as we close out our practice together today. So finding your comfortable seat, rooting down into your sits bones, sitting up nice and tall. We inhale, draw the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, drop them back and down. Hands come into a comfortable position, whether on the knees, palms up or down, in your lap or at heart center. Closing the eyes if that feels comfortable for you. We take a moment to express gratitude for yet another lovely day here on earth and for our bodies that allow us to do so many things, including growing a baby and practicing yoga. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. It was a joy and an honor, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. The light in me, it sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga for Pregnancy series, week 7. Such a joy and an honor to have you here. It's been wonderful thus far. I hope you're feeling it in your body, feeling a little bit looser, a little bit more at ease. Remember, these practices can be mixed and matched based on what feels right in your body, what your practitioner recommends. So make sure to get on your mat as much as you can, as much as feels right for you. If you enjoyed this practice, make sure to like and subscribe to Wild Blue Yonder Media. That's my channel. Make sure to follow along with this series. It would be great to have you as you go through your pregnancy alongside me. And if you know another lady who is pregnant, go ahead and share this with her. She might get some benefit out of doing some yoga during her own pregnancy. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Make sure to tune in next week for the next practice, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Bye.